Running a cold email lead generation agency can be complete chaos if you don't have the right tools and softwares under your belt. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 softwares that you need to be using if you want to scale aggressively and not be held back by operations and systems. These are the same exact softwares that helped me scale past 20 active clients as a one-man team. I didn't have to do so much work. I wasn't stressed because I couldn't deliver for my clients. And actually, we had great client results throughout all 20 clients with these systems. So without any further ado, let's get right into the 3 softwares. Okay, so the first software that I'm going to talk about is Airtable. Airtable is like the backbone of my whole agency's operational system. Basically, everything that we do, from lead management to campaign creation to client reporting, feedback loops, it's all through Airtable. It's a very strong software. It's a very customizable software, and you can really do a lot. So let me go through a few of the use cases just so you can kind of understand how I use it. Then you can kind of play around, but I highly recommend, no matter, even if the stuff that I say right now doesn't really apply to you, still check it out because there's probably some very good use case for you to use it. So number 1, lead management. If we forward a positive response from Smart Lead from Instantly into Airtable, we have basically a system set up that it automatically enriches the mobile phone number of that lead. So we don't scrape it for the tens of thousands of leads that we send emails to. We just enrich it once we get a positive response and forward that to their lead dashboard within their Airtable record. So what we do is we enrich that, and then from there we can warm call these people from the click of one button, right? And you can do automated follow-ups, AI generated responses with whatever prompt that you want that works best for you. And you can also schedule follow-ups much easier, right? The way that we have it set up is that we have 4 different sections for inbox management or lead management. We have people that need to be responded to, people that we already responded to, people that we need to follow up with every 2 days, and then people that we already booked meetings with. Right, so everything is extremely organized compared to if you're doing inbox management within Smart Lead, Instantly, or stuff like that. Another big plus is that you can segment everything by clients. So it's very neat, very organized, and a great way of making sure that you can have an eye over everything. The next thing is campaign creation, right? So obviously when you're creating a campaign from start to finish, there's a lot that goes into it for each client. And what you can do is just all the repeated processes, just automate them through the central hub of Airtable, right? So for example, our lead list building process is very simple. Once we get an Apollo link, we basically just automatically send that Apollo link, exported 100 leads, and send that to the client. The client can either approve or deny it, right? And this is all done through Airtable. And then it goes and launches into the campaign, right? So it's fully automated, right? And it's even better systems than if you were doing it manually, right? You can literally launch 10 times the amount of campaigns in the same amount of time that are probably better quality than if you were to just do it manually. So campaign creation, it's a great tool to have. And lastly, what we use it for mainly is client reporting. So with Airtable, you can build out these beautiful dashboards where you can have all these different statistics that you want and really focus on what you want your clients to see. Right. So for example, one of our most popular ones that people like to see is emails sent into meetings booked. So how many emails did we send and how many meetings did we book and what that ratio is. And that's really an important ratio to understand. Are we doing well? Do we need to make more efficient campaigns? Do we need to put more time into market research? Do we need to restructure the offer? Something like that. And also another thing is that a lot of the times, how do cold email agencies show the conversation history, right, of the lead and the client, right? It's really hard to do that. And one way you can do it is with Airtable, right? You can send them the lead and you can also show them all of the leads that you generated for them ever, right? If you have it connected with your Smart Lead. So that's that. Overall, Airtable is a great tool. You can do a lot more than what I just said. To be honest, that's just the tip of the iceberg if you really want to get into what Airtable is. So yeah, that's that. Software number 2, Make.com. So if you've ever heard of Zapier, Make is like a more nitty-gritty and more complex version of that. It is a little less expensive. So what it allows you to do is have more operations, a lot more customizability. But the one downside is it is a lot harder to build on it, right? You need to understand more of automations and even sometimes just hard, more complex logic of building automations. So that's why in my specific case, I have no experience with automations, with building them. With Make, there's a lot of people who just know how to do Make, right? And they know how to integrate, for example, Smart Lead, Airtable, Ring Central, all these different platforms with Make. So it's a lot better than Zapier. There's a lot more possibility that you have. And once again, you can customize it to do literally anything you need, where in Zapier, you are limited by their options. So that's that. Definitely give Make a try if you haven't heard of it. And also, like I mentioned, you have a lot more operations compared to Zapier for a much better price. Next is, and lastly, is an Apollo exporter. So there's a ton of different exporters. I'll link the ones that we're currently using in the description below so that you can use those. But really, this is the base of getting leads, right? Most of the time, 90% of the time, you're getting emails from Apollo. And you need to make sure that they're good filtering, that they're relevant, and that they are verified. So overall, your leadless tech stack is really, really important. And your Apollo exporter, which allows you to get a lot of leads for really cheap, is one of the most important parts of that. Right? So you need to make sure that you have a reliable one that delivers leads quickly, and one that is accurate. So I'm going to link the one that we're currently using because sometimes it does change. So I'll make sure to keep that updated for you guys, but make sure that you have a reliable Apollo exporter that works and is quick. So there you have it. Make, Airtable, and Apollo exporter. That's the top ones that I recommend that you need to invest in, take a look at, and make sure that you have if you're running a cold email lead generation agency. Now, these tools, they don't just make your life easier, a lot easier, they make it possible to scale to a completely new level that you would not be able to do if you didn't have these systems. So I highly recommend you take a look at them seriously. And once again, I did mention this before, but I'll mention it again. If you aren't able to do this by yourself, if you aren't able to automate stuff by yourself, don't let that be the limiting factor. Right? You can hire someone who is very skilled at automations and have them help you build out your systems, and they will help you. It won't be too expensive, and you'll move the needle in your agency much, much quicker from an operational side of things. So if you did find this helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Once again, if you are interested in learning cold email outreach from me one-on-one with weekly coaching calls, with over 13 hours of exclusive content and a bunch of other people in the community, make sure to check out the Outreach 101 link below. Also, if you are a B2B business that is looking for done for you cold email lead generation, just like we see today, make sure to book a call. It's infinitebookings.com/book a call, and I'll talk to you soon. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.